Welcome back to Dive Twang. I'm Dave. So we're going to do some ear training today, and we're going to do a lot of playing too. It's not just going to be something where we kind of, I'm the old piano teacher, what interval is that? Boy, I wish I'd have paid attention back then, right? I'd been a whole lot better off. Saved me a whole lot of years of making up for all that. So this isn't going to be, really an exercise. It'll be a musical, experience. But we're going to use Mixolydian, but you could apply this same business to any kind of chords and scales that you wanted to. So we're going to be using a dominant seventh chord. We'll go with our old friend A. Everybody likes that, right? A7. Okay. And I've got a few little diagrams here of different four-string versions of A7. Okay. Not going to have to memorize a lot of stuff, but you do want to warm up with this A Mixolydian scale. You want to just, get swimming around in that river of notes, okay? So you could start that anywhere. Okay, see, I made it a seventh there at the end just to kind of stay true to the thing that we're immersing our ear in right now. Okay, so what I just played was just kind of my version of wandering around a Mixolydian, whatever that means to you, or wherever you are with different parts of the neck and thing. But try to really follow your ear with that. Okay, so Mixolydian. For those, if you're not familiar with that, there's a lot of stuff on this channel and all around YouTube that would introduce you to that. Okay, so I don't want you to get kind of aggravated that you're not used to that at all. Okay, you can just look up. I think there's even a playlist called Mixolydian. On this channel, and there's probably some more beginning level things that really take you through that. But it's a major scale with the flat 7. Okay, so this is really about training our ear to be with that sound, right? I almost said hear it. It's like we can hear it, being with it, sitting with it, and with the different chord tones that are in there, the root, the third, the fifth, and the flat 7. Okay, so what I did in that intro was I did a lick that was sort of bracketed by each one of those, and lick is maybe a stretch. I did it a couple of times because this was a challenge for me. That's how I knew it was going to be good, right? Because I didn't want to stop on the third and just stop there. I want to just keep on going and just kind of putting in more stuff or whatever. Ultimately, I would do that normally, right? But there's something to be gained by using those guidelines. I had to go, for the root, it was pretty easy. I went, we're all used to hearing that, right? When I went to that third, I just wanted to keep going and maybe like get back to the root or something, So I had to let it sit there, right? And let me show you. I'm not going to show you. You don't have to play the same stuff that I'm playing. It's just, work on it from kind of a root to root thing, and you don't have to go just up and down the scale either, but really feature each one of these chord tones. And here's what I mean. You'll see, and your ear will start to understand and be with each one of these notes. See, I'm starting on it. I just just did it one time around each time in the intro, right? Because I didn't want you to run off and be bored before you even got to the lesson. But stay on each one for a while. Now you got the third, and that's just the third scale tone in that scale. And you really have to see how that, it's kind of, I mean, it almost makes you a little anxious at first, right? To stay on a note like that. Um, and don't worry about like, oh, well, that's not, no, it doesn't sound like, a lick that I want to play. And that's okay, because it will become part of a larger system that you're using. This is about really, you know, letting your ear steep in each one of those tones. Okay. Then, likewise, I went up to the right. So I kind of mapped it by the high E string, right? Not that actually wasn't a seventh chord, was it? Okay. And then there's the root. 2, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6, flat 7. Boy, I loved it when it got to that flat 7. Right? I knew that was going to be the payoff for me because I just love that sound. So when I got up there, I kind of went. Can kind of start mixing it up a little bit once you get, spend some time on each one of these. But do yourself, the service of staying with each one of them, right? Don't worry about, there's going to be awkwardness about it and, oh, what, the scale pattern looks different. And so try to just, every time you start to get caught up in all of that, just try to turn your attention back to the thing that you're really doing at the moment, right? I'm just listening to the flat 7 right now, playing the other notes and getting back to that and hearing those relationships. And the same thing for the other chord tones. Now, I showed you just a little bit of this, a little preview just a second ago. I got these chord diagrams, and I'm not going to go through every one of them, but I'll just show you a couple of them. But in the description and over the backing track part at the end of this, I'll have them all in there. But you've got like and I might have I don't remember which ones I have. I'm sure I have a bunch of A7s, but they'll be, on these 4 strings. Maybe something like that. Okay. And then up here, right? See how on the top of each one is each one of those chord tones. The root, and then the 3rd. And you can kind of start to drop that. You see each portion of that scale, segments that you're using as being kind of framed by, or at least, overlapping with these chord forms, right? Then there's another one here. See, and that's the highest note is the 5th. And then up here, Of course, you've got that kind of familiar, and that flat seven's on the top, that G note. Okay, so again, there's no right or wrong way to do this, right? Just really go after those chord tones, and this time instead of trying to just do a lick and a target and the whole 9 yards for every one of them, just hang out and let those you let your ear hang out with those pitches. And that's going to make a big difference. So when you kind of let yourself go back to kind of doing whatever you want, you're going to see it's going to show up more. You're going to gravitate to those notes more, and you're going to trust them more and lean into them. It's really going to, for a lot of folks, it's going to be part of a richer melodic sound for your overall style. All right. Let me know how this goes. We're going to do another segment on this that's really going to build on this. So this is kind of the experimental part, right? This first part, really spend a little time immersed in this, and it'll pay off. Let me know how it goes. I'll talk to you soon.